that. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys, of course, are my co-host, along with, of course, the moderator with the most debonair, artistic moderator on these YouTube streets, Brother Nate. Are you ready to come up, sir? Let me know when you're ready, okay? All right, so hello, everybody. What's going on, Patty Duke? Always great to see you, Queen Diva. Hey, what's going on, Satin? What's going on? Welcome. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. So we got a lot to get into real quick. This is pretty much impromptu. Everything ran a little late. The devil was busy. My cord didn't work. Everything went wrong that could go wrong, but we here. And we're going to make the best of it and really get things going. So, of course, as always, I look for your guys' participation and any stories that you want to bring up or your views and thoughts definitely are well appreciative and accepted. As long as you don't get too crazy because you might get sniped from the balcony. I'm just saying, I got some sharpshooters in the balcony. That just because you don't see them don't mean they ain't there ready to check you and snipe you. So keep it cute. We can agree to disagree. You don't have to like the current president or anything that's going on. That's cool. But I just ask that if you really want to actually have a point of view, that you make it make sense and have some things to back it up. That's how we do it here. So with that said, I hope you guys are having a great start to your week, as we all are, with all these transitions and things going on, that we are keeping it together. All right. So we have a few things to get into. Of course, some updates on particular stories that we talked about last week. Excuse me for rambling, but I definitely wanted to put a pin on this one because this is one I definitely want to talk about. Dylan Roof, the white thug who murdered those parishioners in the church. And one of them happened to be a congressman. That guy, the one that was able to go to Burger King and get a burger that the taxpayers' police officer dollars paid for because he was hungry. That murderer, of course, he waited till he thought everybody died down and forgot about him being on death row for the murder of 9 individuals. That now he's claiming that he wants a retrial because the people he murdered was painted in such a heavenly light that he felt like he needs to have a retrial because that's not the actual people that he particularly murdered. Now, where it makes sense, I have no idea. But I guess anybody will throw, when you white, you right, you'll throw the kitchen sink at, whatever. And without further ado, hey, Lynn T, what's going on, girl? How you doing, Brother Nate?
I'm doing fine. How you feeling this evening?
That's great. I'm okay. Till I came across that story again about that Dylan Roof character. I was like,
yeah.
With that one.
Mm-hmm. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Right. And then, of course, the judge that I talked about last week who had demanded that during a custody battle, not even a custody battle, over child support, he demanded that the mother or the ex-wife get a COVID shot before he can even hear her case, let alone have visitation with her son. He has now recanted his whole thing. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Queen Elizabeth supporting Black Lives Matter. Are we not surprised?
It's kind of late. She only got a few weeks left.
I mean, few weeks, few months. I mean, I'm not holding my breath on that, especially with them dropping the bomb that basically the royal family is racist or have some racist kind of things within them. Not surprised that, of course, she would come out and say she supports Black Lives Matter. A pregnant dad gets arrested. We'll talk about that briefly because I don't want, I ain't trying to get all deep in that. It is what it is. I don't, whatever. But on a wellness note, Tanari did mention that Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so there was definitely some signs that men can do too, because men have been known to contract breast cancer as well. So we want to make sure that we are covering all spectrums of this in our wellness portion. And black opiates, basically the heavy drugs, like the what is it? What is that stuff called? I don't fentanyl or whatever. Yeah, fentanyl. So that's becoming
more prevalent in the black community.
In the black community because it's being laced.
Mm-hmm. Yes, with other drugs.
So for those who do participate, I suggest you be careful, be mindful of who you getting your stuff from.
No new suppliers. Stay with your old suppliers.
I don't. It's really becoming a bit of a problem, and then makes you wonder too: are they using that to kind of snipe off people? They're using anything. It just gets me to thinking. So, you did send me a story about the black woman who was able to get 94% of her community vaccinated. I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder how she did that. The Texas police officer who years ago was shown sitting on a black teenager while I guess they were coming from a pool party or some sort of pool gathering.
Everybody's seen that one where the officer was doing flips. Was doing flips and rolling on the ground, and he ends up sitting on this girl. She couldn't have been more than 13 or 14.
Right. So there's an update with that. I don't even want to talk about Ron Paul. I just feel like he is a waste of space and just an airhead, and it just brings to light the people who vote. But I did, of course, want to talk about our famous ex-president, who these people act so surprised that he is funneling their own funds in his pocket. And every time they bring a story, they act like they're so surprised that he's taking their funds and putting them in his pocket, because that's just what he's doing. Your thoughts on term limits? But let's just get into it. So first, we'll just go with Dylan Roof. Why? Well, I'm not even going to ask why, because I know why. Because we live in a racist, bigoted society that honors white folks, especially when they go out and murder and kill unarmed, God-fearing people that just don't happen to be white. And, that it's, it's not that bad. He had time to think about what he did. So now let's release him from the death row and just put him in the general population. For what? He murdered 9 people for no reason. And there is no reason why anybody needs to hear or go over any kind of anything that I feel like this man, they've killed many of our people who've had evidence that they did not commit the crime, and they still was on death row and completed their entire penalty, even to the chamber. So I'm just confused as to why. Your thoughts on that real quick?
I remember when churches, synagogues, and mosques were off limits.
Mm-hmm.
And to do something like that to any type of crime in those buildings, because they were sanctuary.
Right.
They were a safe space. You could always go in there. There are the different rules applied. And you don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And for this guy to be able to go and worship with these people and then murder them. Yeah. And it was all premeditated because he purposely left one witness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know why in the hell they've taken so long. I mean, I'm an eye for an eye person. And but sometimes I do believe that I kind of do believe in torture and shit like that.
Right.
Okay. That's just my being as I've gotten older. Because it shouldn't just be that cut and dry. It shouldn't be that easy.
Right.
So of course now that he's come to his senses.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Go ahead and put him in. You know what? Put him in general population. Let the brothers handle him.
But they're not going to do that.
No, because what they'll do is they'll separate him.
Yeah.
He'll be in for 23 hours, out for an hour, and then that's it. But I'm sure, send a couple of cases of ramen noodles down. I'm sure we can get something done.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. Who knows?
It's horrible. You can't even go and worship.
Right.
Yeah. But the devil works overtime, and he's in a lot of spaces, and he can come into a lot of spaces.
Yeah, that part is true.
Now, the one thing I had to commend is the family, the families, because they're like, we're praying for them. That's not me.
Yeah, it ain't too much in me either. I just wish we really would kind of transform out of that place.
Stop forgiving those that stop forgiving those that do ill against us.
Literally. I think we've been so indoctrinated into forgiving those that persecute us.
No, you don't learn anything.
Right. So yeah, I definitely think we need to kind of elevate from that mindset because it doesn't help us at all. It doesn't really at all. Moving past that, like I said, the judge who ordered the woman to get her COVID shot in order to hear her case, and basically said this is his courtroom. He doesn't care really what she thought. And she's like, hey, I'm just supposed to be here for child support. Like, I don't even know what this is about. He is now recanted, of course, due to pressure. He's recanted his judgment and basically saying it's her right to not have the shot. He was just suggesting that she get the COVID shot to protect her son, so on and so forth. I mean, I just think it's BS. I really think, and of course we know that a lot of people in power use their influence to push an agenda, narrative, whatever you want to say. And, people in authoritative positions do the same thing. That's what they do. So if it is a thing of getting vaccinated, and they feel like they have the authority to make people do it, people are going to utilize that power and do so. I mean, for him to threaten her livelihood, her whole family, from a decision that she decided to do that's best for her, I thought was ridiculous. But I'm thankful for the pressure that, of course, media gives and the newspapers give and other outlets that the internet gives to bring attention to a lot of these situations that we would know nothing about. So with that, I am thankful for that. And I hope a lot of other cases, like the young man who was forced to get a COVID shot or else he would have spent time in jail for a minor offense. I hope that decision gets looked at as well.
It has been.
It has been? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and awesome. It's the same thing. He won't be getting the shot. The judge has overstepped his bounds. Well, awesome. that goes back to controlling one's body.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that boils down to. You have white men in power that they think that they have omnipotent power over anyone.
Right. Like they have pure dominion over other people's bodies.
And they get a hard on from that.
Yeah.
Literally, they get a hard on from that.
Those that can still do that. Well, I guess.
Get what you can get.
Right. I mean, hey, if you're paying for it, I guess. So yeah, that, which I just find to be ridiculous, along with, of course, them being in charge or being the doomsayers over productive rights. Here we go talking about that again. Goddamn Texas. Governor Hot Wheels. He is really like running. He's on a thing. I don't know. I really just don't see how this makes any sense. I get states have rights, and they do. That's perfectly fine. But in this climate, these states like Texas, Florida, they're taking their states' rights or their statehood to a whole different level. And it's just for one man who really don't give a shit about the people. I don't know. I just find it to be a bit ridiculous. What do you think?
What is there to say? But I'm actually wondering what is the big thing that they're trying to hide with all these distractions.
You know what I think it is? I think it boils down to there will be, if the truth was exposed, there'd be a lot of people on both sides who participated in a lot of the, in the words of some, bullshit that was going on. As far as even with the insurrection, with people kind of letting him slide on certain things or knowing about certain things that he was doing and not really saying anything. Democrats as well. I think if the cat was out the bag, you'll see a whole lot of names in it. So I think kind of keeping up the mystique about it and just going after him kind of shields a lot of people from, oops, yeah, I had my hand in the cookie jar too. Because a lot of these people on both sides of the aisle, I believe, participated in a lot of this garbage that's going on. That I think that, like I said, if it got exposed, governors would be in trouble. Senators would be in trouble.
So this is actually the real big lie.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Congress.
Because it's a lot deeper than just, we're just looking at the Republicans and what Republicans knew, but actually it's both parties that have participated.
Like you can look at even what Joe Manchin is doing right now in West Virginia. And you look at it like, well, you guys have the majority in the Senate right now, enough to get stuff really, really done. But why the hell would you hold back on that? Knowing good and goddamn well if the Republicans had the majority, they wouldn't give a goddamn what Joe Manchin or anybody in West Virginia, if you weren't on the ticket or the agenda, they wipe their hands at you. So why are you so gun-ho on obstructing what the Democrats are trying to do while they have power? Because you were placed there to do so. You was a sleeper cell. You slept until it was time for you to be activated. And now you're activated. So now your thing is to obstruct anything that is trying to get pushed through by the Democrats while they have power.
Yeah. Yeah, because normally they would go after him.
Yeah.
Some project that he was interested in, that they would either, tit for tat.
Right. Say, okay, Joe, you want to keep the coal mines open for another 6 months to a year,
even though nobody's burning coal.
Who the fuck is doing that? Like, who is really doing that? Nobody. We are like the only nation. We are like the only nation really that still have co-workers. Like I really don't. The times have changed. Like I'm sorry that you've been down there your whole life, getting decent pay, at least until y'all was getting the stuff in your throats and then dying, not getting insurance. So I don't, I don't understand. You guys, you weren't doing a plan B, a plan plan C. You just thought plan A was it and that was it. How long did you think that was going to last though? With the rise of the computer and digital things and
solar and everything else. And because that's what I thought. I thought that they were going to, go more the green, retooling them to do solar, wind, things like that.
Yeah, black lung. I couldn't think of what.
Yeah, black lung.
Yeah, it's like, wouldn't you do that? And as a CEO of a company, and you see the world changing, wouldn't you then kind of like, okay, well, if I want to keep employees, and I know good and well this is their bread and butter for the entire state, because
your business needs to shift.
The state has no money. It would need to shift. But of course you're going to put, a greedy, hungry, money-grabbing president in there that would take every kind of environmental safety net and let it go down the toilet, to then allow them to come back, thrive, throw the chemicals back in the water that we just started to get clean, do all this stuff back all over again. Now you hear no word of it. So you don't even know if Biden has reinforced the environmental protections.
Not only that, weakened OSHA. So they have you working in all types of conditions.
Right. And I mean, if you think this virus is bad, wait till that ozone cracks fully open and that sun really exposes. You worried about corona, you won't be able to go outside. Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get me a turban like yours. Cause I ain't got no protection.
We burning scalps up, just straight.
We all going to be Hotep.
Right.
Okay.
Just be elevated. That's all I can say.
It's scary too.
Yeah, that is very scary. So let's go to some lighter news. The black woman who got 94% of her community in Alabama vaccinated.
Yeah, we should applaud her.
Yeah. Dorothy Oliver, out of Pensacola, Alabama, didn't know it existed. She got national. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard of Pensacola, Florida, but not.
No, yeah, Alabama. They're everywhere.
I mean, so she's gotten some attention because she was able to get her community vaccinated. A lot of people, on both sides did come down on her as well for doing that. My question is, I wonder, how did you do that? Did you do that with chicken dinners or fish fries?
Some pig feet, hummus, chili. Some cornbread, some greens, all that.
But I think if there were more serious conversations about it, if there were more in-depth information given, I think a lot of people would either make the decision to do so or not. I think for some who have lived through Tuskegee and other kind of experimental things that have happened to our people, they know. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing that they can sweep under the rug, because they have grandparents who have been forcibly participants of experimental drugs due to the government trying to find a cure or seeking to discover what works best on the human body, not their bodies, but ours, to help them, which is ridiculous. But they've been doing that, but whatever. But I don't know. I think we need to start doing that. And yes, we can be skeptical and feel some type of way about it and be a little uneasy, but we do need to do our research and know for ourselves the benefits of this and things of that nature. So what are your thoughts on Miss Dorothy?
I think she's great. And she did the opposite of what our government has done.
Right.
And what our states have done. Because it's, they're like, if you take the jab, we'll give you 40,000. That's what they were doing down here.
Yeah.
We'll give you, you're eligible to win
$40,000 $20,000 or something like that. It was $20,000 or $40,000.
Yeah.
Then the kids were able to go to school or go to their college of choice in state for free.
And you know how that looks? It's like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you trying to coax us into? Right. Why are you doing this? Yeah. Okay. And you wonder why everybody's
looked suspect. It looked like, big
time.
Dangling a carrot over a horse. Talking about some, come on. Or like that commercial with the guy with the dollar. Talking some, you almost got it.
Got it. Yeah.
So it looks ridiculous.
It not only looks ridiculous, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
But when you don't, they don't think, they don't.
Well, see, they're not they haven't been on the other end.
Yeah. I was trying to say, it's nice to say.
They haven't been on the other end.
Right.
And we don't trust them.
Yeah.
And I tell them, we don't trust you. That's why. That's all it is. Hey, it's not the personal, but you have that history.
Yeah. But again, that's where the WG comes in at, because that white guilt, they don't like to feel that.
I'm glad you said that. Was like WG. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I'll figure it out. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. When you start doing little, we'll give you this. It's the same thing. You come to the country and you give the Indians, you give the indigenous people trinkets and beads and baubles. Those types of things. You passing out Hennessy. I'm scared.
Right. Speaking of indigenous people, real quick, I was watching a football game. Now I know we have this huge thing about race and things being a bit over the top now, with the Washington Redskins changing from the Native American to something else. But I was watching the Kansas City Chiefs game, right? And I'm listening to the crowd, and the crowd is,
yeah.
I'm like, really though? Seriously? So, not that I'm a Washington Redskins fan.
What is it? The chop or whatever it's called?
Whatever. Yeah. But it's like they changed their whole team logo because of the, they shouldn't have a Native American as a symbol of their mascot or whatever. Okay, cool. So it's okay for the Kansas City Chiefs to still be everybody in the audience doing Native American rain dance chants and other things. That's okay.
Well, I don't fucks with the MFSL. All them letters.
No, I mean, I get it. I was at Nana's house, but they were watching the game, but I was just sitting there like, what in the hell? Like,
no, my wife's in all that shit. All that memorabilia and shit you saw on that back wall, that's all her shit. The New England Patriots and stuff. And just as I was starting to get into it, that's when everything started happening. So
off the rails.
It would have been nice if they would have given the team like an indigenous name or something.
Yeah,
I think that would have been nice.
Yeah.
But shit, they having a heart attack over the Black National Anthem being sung first.
That's a whole nother thing that I wasn't trying to get into, but I was watching I'll get into it because I was watching Bill Maher, his Friday episode, but I was watching it Saturday, and he is really starting to irk me. Like I used to be on like somewhat on the same page with him, but his privilege is really starting to show. Like that whole WG, he does not.
It's always there. They're always there, even if they're dirt poor. and they have coal mine dust on their face.
Yep. He does not like to feel the WG. He does not like to feel the WG. He does not like for you to point out that he has WG. He does not, these people do not want to realize that they have a sickness. And the sickness is that they have a privilege, that they don't know that everything else that is other than what they have grown up to or accustomed to is separation. He had a problem with the Black National Anthem. What is the Black National Anthem? What is that? We should just have one anthem. No. Why should we just have one anthem?
Well, when we have one country and one country, everyone is recognized.
When everyone is recognized as a human
being,
equal, then you can have one anthem. And then when the anthem that you do have presently, when you redacted the actual lyrics from the national anthem, because the original lyrics of this anthem that we want to talk about, why don't we just sing the national anthem and forget about the Black national anthem, talks about us being slaves, hung from trees, and all different kinds of things that we're less than human. So all the other stuff where they talk about the war and the boom and all, that's all great. The rest of those lyrics are not so great.
I used to hate to say that shit in school. Did you ever have to do that in elementary school?
Yep.
I couldn't wait.
Well, in my black school, we did a lot the
every morning we used to have to. We had to not the Black National Anthem. Well, we used to do the vanilla version.
Oh no,
but we used to have to do it. And I wish I was fucking Muslim.
Yeah. No, growing up, no, we did.
Because I was like, hey, man, how you get to sit there and like, I'm Muslim. I was like, bring me a bean pie, I'm good.
We definitely, I'm still friends with my elementary school principal on Facebook. And I thanked her really for just instilling that in us. She did not play no games. We were like the only elementary school in the area that had to wear uniforms, which sucked. But as far as blackness, we were every day. Like we were definitely told that we were beautiful, that we could do anything. It was never a thing. That was a culture shock once I got out and went to
the real world.
high school, and it was like, whoa, wait, what? Wait, what? But
me too, Patty. I remember that. I used to hate it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that in order for us to move forward, it's like an AA meeting. It's like a 12-step program. You have to admit that you play a part in the demise of something in order to move forward and heal. You have to. Whether you don't see it or not, there is something that you did, even in not even thinking, even when he was just having that discussion, his whole disgust about why should there be two national anthems? Why it needs to be, this is just getting more divided. That's just more dividing the people. From what? The division that's already been caused?
You're in the fractured United States of America. Right. Okay, because it's not just white, black, and brown, and yellow.
Yeah.
It's on so many levels.
Right.
Male, female.
Right.
That's gay, straight. Male, female, gay, you run down the whole list. We are fractured.
Poor. It's so many different classes or segregative parts in this that, for you to just see it as, a national anthem having two, a black one and this one, that just creates more divide. How about no? It could educate some folks, the people that didn't know that there was a black national anthem. We knew a lot of the history of the actual national anthem, and we knew that it involved us being enslaved, murdered, and killed. So who wants to sing that? Everybody's not. What's his name? Larry, the dude running for governor against Newsom. Everybody's not Uncle Tom and shucking and jiving.
Right, Patty. We're not a perfect union. We're definitely not a perfect union.
We ain't never been that. And talking about slave owners
getting reparations.
Don't you think they've already gotten them? a lot of them slave owners' families still have land and property.
Not only that,
that didn't squander them.
Larry Elder, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Larry.
That's why they have the jump on us. That's why there's such
Right. That's just why and not to mention that I'm sure if you really go back in the books and really look, I'm sure a lot of those Southern aristocrats, they did get paid from the government to calm down and let their slaves go and go about their business. I'm sure of it. You can't tell me that there were wealthy plantation owners that were completely destitute after they let them slaves go. I don't buy it. Everything did not happen like, what was that Gone with the Wind bullshit? That's a book.
No, then they opened up prisons.
But immediately to ensure like, oh, which say we can only have slaves if they're in prison. Okay, no problem. So now we're just gonna get those same field watchers who was making sure they were overseeing the land to then be police officers who grow up now to where their grandparents and great grandchildren and all that kind of stuff are now policing as well, doing the same shit. Come on, give me a break. But I didn't mean to go there. But anyway, it touched my spirit. So I was like, the hell? I can't go with you on this. I can't ride with you on that, sir. McKinney, the Texas officer, the mayonnaise man who slammed on that little girl, finally. How long has it been? 4 or 5 years now?
Yes. About 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Finally getting charges for what he did. To a degree.
Yeah, but she got paid.
Yeah, she did.
It should have been more.
She did. And of course it should have been, but I just wish it would came from the officer. That's
the whole thing. Yeah, it's always
coming from the people.
From the people
who are getting victimized the most. So they never
coming from the union.
Not much of it, not as much as it should. Because if real money was coming from the union, the unions would be crippled. The police unions would be crippling right now. So they give up a fraction, but a lot of the counties and the cities give up far more than the police unions.
Yeah, well, shit. If they got it from the police officer, if they tapped his pension or something like that, what he has in there, she wouldn't get anything.
No, but I'm just saying, along with whatever police union's gonna get. No, tap that officer, wipe him. Okay, yeah, we gonna need.
He should be included.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm not talking about just him.
Other than that, they wouldn't get shit.
No, of course we know that, but I'm just saying, no, they need to be included, so that way, when it does come down, you about to lose everything. You're not gonna get Becky to hurry up and take the funds and put them all in her name and then divorce your ass so your stuff can stay safe. No. We gonna take all that, all of Billy's college fund, and little Becky to get her teeth straight. That we taking that too. So now you got to figure it out.
Yeah, sell that summer home,
sell that house,
and that motorcycle you got.
Sell all that. Good luck. Have fun, and know what it really is like to live a paycheck to paycheck, or lose your job and lose everything, and have to literally start from scratch. Good luck. Figure it out. Figure it out. I bet they stopped doing some dumb shit if that was really the case.
Yeah, that was in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won her settlement. Excuse me for a minute.
Sure. So, yeah. I think good thing. I'm happy she won, but I'm just over it. So, Trump. Always great to talk about this fool. So, of course, everybody's surprised that Trump political fundraising groups getting paid millions to people actually are going to people in his camp it is not actually going to what they claimed they were going, what they were collecting the funds for was for his reelection campaign, presidential stuff. It's going towards his legal fees, it's going towards his everyday living expenses, and so on and so forth. Now, I mean, people have a right to give their money to whomever, and I guess once you give it, you just hope that the person does right by the money that you give. But I just wish a lot of these people would wake up and know that this man is robbing you guys blind off of hopes and dreams of the same nature that they've always done. I mean, even when there was talk of freeing slaves, there was always this, oh, well, what if they're going to do? They're going to come into our neighborhoods and kill and rape our women and do this and do that. And you have this same kind of garbage talk again today, where you have an ex-president who lost, who can't even deal with the fact that he lost, was trying to set up to ensure that if he did lose, right on top, that he would then say, hey, you know what? It was a scam. I got cheated. He's been doing this since Hillary. So this is not new. Even when he was running the first time, initially when the polls were looking like Hillary was going to win by a landslide, he was just there to talk about, well, you know, if they win, they stole it. They stole it. So it's always been a gear up thing for him. It's always been, let's, you know, kind of feed the base this bigotry and hate, which of course he's a part of. So I'm not by any means giving him a pass. He's just feeding the frenzy, the same frenzy him and his rich friends feel. He's giving right into it, but at the same time, he's robbing them blind. So, I mean, if they want to be sheep, let them be sheep. I just find it a bit funny that even people that support him, who happen to think they've made it because they're black and brown, and they were able to hobnosh with some of his well-to-do supporters. They think that they have made it, and it's always pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. But how the hell are you going to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps if you don't have boots? So, I mean, I don't know. Just a thought. So, but yeah, that's all I'd say about that. I ain't giving him too much time because he's going to have enough time to do, even if he doesn't go to jail, the people around him who supported him, who edited and abetted a lot of the bullshit he did, they're going to go to jail. And it's just going to be what it is. That's all it is. Let's see what else we got here. There was something else. Oh, yeah. Wellness. Breast cancer. So breast cancer in men, it's on the rise a little bit. It used to be something that was like 1 in a million kind of thing, but men do get breast cancer. So we want to make sure that just as women are, you know, kind of feeling around for anything that is abnormal, men are doing the same thing. You know, kind of get to know your breast. Now, some men got bigger titties than others. So you big titty men, you know who you are. You
may want to ask for some help.
You make sure you get help to feel around that. Just don't be trying to put your big titties in no bra so you could impersonate another female. You make sure you gripping them big old suckers to make sure you feel around for any lumps and bumps. Just to make sure that, you know, you are healthy. We don't want to ignore our health. We want to make sure that we all know that not only is your mental health your wealth, but your physical health is wealth as well. So I'm just saying, big titty men, you know who you are. Big titty men. And if you got big anything in your name, or somebody calls you something like big mama, big mother, big, get your titties checked, okay?
If you can hide things underneath of them.
If you could hide things underneath of them, if you could go like this and it's sweat and wetty, you know.
If you have the fold,
you know you need to be doing a little grippage.
A little grippage.
Put them heavy bitches on the counter and just do a little feel. Booby checks are always important for you men. Make sure you're doing it. It is not to be remiss. Men need to make sure we are checking, and check your balls too. Some of you, even though you got little balls or no balls at all because you don't have any courage, check your balls.
Check your balls. And the way you do that is that you just squeeze. You squeeze around them gently.
Yeah.
You know you have two, but if you feel a third, you go have it checked out.
Right.
And with the breast cancer, you need to check your family history. If breast cancer runs in your family history, your age. Usually, average men at the age of 72. But with everything that goes on now, especially in the Black community, just start checking
your diet. Because your diet can
check yourself early.
Your diet can expedite things as well. So you want to make sure that we are always checking ourselves. Again, big titty men, check your titties. You big titty sports bra wearing, cutting your t-shirts because your breast's too big that you can't do this. See this film? It's called room. You gotta cut nothing.
If you've been exposed to radiation, you definitely better get all that shit checked.
Yeah, if you've been exposed to any kind of radiation or any kind of treatment, make sure you're checking yourself regularly. And eating right. I mean,
because that falls under alcohol abuse and obesity.
If
you indulge in pleasures of the mouth, the taste.
Well, I mean, some of you now, some of you haven't indulged in the pleasures of the mouth or anything in a long time. That's because nobody fucks with your ass. But if you happen to do so, because I know, because a lot of times you could hear the childishness come out of a lot of people's voices, but you realize that they probably swallowed so much that, of course, children would come out of their mouth when they speak. Because that's how they do. So I just want to make sure that you guys are really taking care of yourselves, because health is wealth, man. And we have to, always realize that health is wealth. On a serious tip. Yes,
on a serious note, that's right. You shouldn't feel any lumps. If you have pains in your nipples, if you have an inverted nipple, that's when your nipple collapses within itself.
Oh.
Yeah, it goes inside your nipple. You know how your nipple protrudes out?
Right.
If it goes in, you may want to have that checked. If you have nipple discharge. Now I've seen
some people might be
lactate.
Some people might be excited about that because they may feel like they're actually becoming a full-fledged woman.
Squirting across the room.
Like you're not a woman. There's not a woman.
No.
You're not about to give birth.
Yeah,
you're not preparing to give birth.
It might be milk. I don't know.
No,
well, whatever. If you have sores on your nipple or around your areola, or if you have large lymph nodes underneath your arms.
Okay, yeah, I did hear that, like large, like little kind of bumps or anything. Yeah, you need to be careful about that.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Okay, we done.
What I say?
You said. Tenara, you say you're trying to behave tonight.
I didn't say nothing. You doing this?
We don't.
Well, I mean, some people.
Yeah, they taking hormones or whatever. These children doing everything nowadays.
Everything.
So they might think it's all. They're getting closer and closer, but that's not it.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
You want to make sure you're being just aware
of any changes.
Your body and changes that you may experience. But yeah, just making sure. big titty fuckers. I'm sorry, that's all I could think about. But yeah, breast cancer in men is important. So don't want to make sure that we doing that. But let's see. Oh, did you hear that? I saw you sent me the story about the actor that recently passed away from the drug overdose.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go finish.
No. Because I was gonna say they named. They were seeking to name a drug law after him or something.
No, this is a bill he was working on. Criminal justice reform bill. So Michael K. Williams.
Okay.
So
how about the comedian as well that
just died today, right?
No.
You talking about the other?
Oh, okay. Talking about the other one that went to the party and got.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Three of them.
Yeah, I actually had to look him up. He he's it was unfortunate.
Yeah,
the whole thing was just unfortunate, but he was somebody that I've always heard his name, but I never really paid too much attention to his work.
Right. So yeah, this crime justice reform bill in Michael K. Williams' name. I think it'd be a good thing. It's supposed to reduce mass incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
And in New York, of course, that's prevalent, especially in places like Rikers, where that young man died who wasn't supposed to be there in the first place because he was underage. But of course, again, we're not looked at as human. Our children are not looked at as children. We're looked at as subhuman and all kinds of crazy bullshit. And so, I mean, I hope it gets through. Of course, in the city, it'll probably be pushed through quicker than it would once it gets to Albany with all of those Trumpian supporters that sit in high places in our state legislation. But that's why we gotta vote. We gotta vote. What I was about to say. But what were your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's a good idea. Now, the first time when I first heard about, I thought it would have to do with do with drugs and things like that. I was like, boy, they're moving awfully quick,
right,
on that. And after I read it, I was like, no, evidently this was something that he was working on also.
Mm-hmm.
So, it. Again, we'll say if you indulge in different activities, stay with who you know and what you know. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at Tanari.
Oh, what is she doing? What are you doing?
I think she was trying to tell me to go to bed.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
What was that? Stay with your weed guy. You've been with him, the whole time, and ask, you where you getting your shit from. The stuff that's out here, and just make them aware.
Child, when you're dealing with drugs, there's no new friends. No new friends.
Yeah.
No new friends.
Not only that, it could be setting you up.
Setting you up. Right. That too. So we want to be mindful. All right. So, other than that, I really didn't have too much of anything. What else did I want to talk about real quick? Anybody watch the VMAs? No, not really, because I didn't. I did see the Met Gala people stuff.
Yeah, some of the costumes. Yeah.
No comment. Yeah. Just have no comment. I don't know. Some of that stuff does not excite me. Like, I'll seeing it, I was like, okay, what's the point in this? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point in this? Is it helping? Is it benefiting people? Besides a lot of these societies that don't invite others who don't have a chance to actually get involved. Very seldom. Or they do lotteries to where only certain numbers can get in. And it's like, what's the point? But you do all this fanfare for that. I just find it to be ridiculous. And didn't know it was still on. Yeah, it is. Homicide, anything like that? No. As far as anything movies, no, I haven't seen. Oh, I finally saw Candyman. And yeah. I expected more.
You expected more?
I did. I expected.
I still haven't seen it yet, so. But I'm worried because spoilers don't bother me. I'll watch it anyway.
Me either. People be like, spoiler. I don't care. I'm going to watch it anyway, so it doesn't spoil me. But I just, I from Get Out and even what was the other one where it was Cuckoo, like two different dimensions. It was like up here and down there.
They, no.
They, whatever that was. Whatever.
Yeah.
That even with that, I was like, oh, okay, wow. I just nah.
Tanari said boo.
Yeah, it was like I even watched it again to see if maybe I missed something. Because I'll do that. I'll like watch something and be like,
Oh, you watched it on your Fire Stick?
I did, the Stick of Fire.
Okay.
And that's about the only thing that burns. Okay. So we're clear. Better than I can say than a lot of other people. Fire. What did you think about ending in clickbait? Ending clickbait. You know what, Patty Duke, for that you get the end of clickbait. I wanted to smack the dog crappy the shit out of both of them. I did not expect it to be that way though. I really didn't. I really thought that guy was like the one behind it all. But to come to see that old fat white woman was behind it, and then her husband, once he found out, he kind of like, went along with it and participated, and even killed that guy for her. I was just like, the hell. And then they were like really gonna kill that boy. I was too through. I was just like, oh, I was too through. I was up to here with it. Here. It almost got here, but it was here. It was very much like, whew.
Lynn T, Michael Myers for you?
Yeah. That was funny. What else? There was another scene in there too. Even when they was like talking him down and stuff, and he had the gun pointing at, and they were just like, "Oh, put the gun down, put the gun down." She's like, "No, let me talk to him." All that's not realistic for us. There wouldn't have been no talking. Okay, you would have put two in his head and then talked about he had a gun and all that kind of stuff. All that kind of coaching him down. That was some bullshit. But you see how he left her ass. He said, "Sorry," boop, and put it straight to his own head. 2-piece and a biscuit, his own ass. But it was a decent movie. Not what I thought, because I really thought that Cuckoo sister of his, I thought she started the shit because the opening scene where he kicked her out the house and told her she was worthless and all that kind of stuff. I really thought she was behind a lot of it. Plus, she just looked suspect, and I don't know if maybe that's from her years of drug abuse and stuff, and she just looks kind of schizo, a little crazy. But I thought it was the sister. So, and then I thought it was the ex coworker guy. So, yeah. But it was good. It was good. Good watch. I'm still waiting for All American to come back. Got me start watching it. I hate when my friends do that. Oh, watch this show. Watch this show. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, let me talk to you about that. I didn't watch it. I didn't get that far. I started watching something else. What the hell did you tell me to watch it for? Now I got to wait for somebody else to watch it so I can actually have a dialogue about the show, because you still on season 1 in the middle. And season 4 about to start.
I was almost tempted to watch The Wire again.
No, I have not watched that since it ended. Actually,
since it ended.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was too close to home then.
Yeah.
And they would be parked around the corner.
Wow.
Shooting around the corner and everything, or down at the about three or four blocks over when you would see like the what do they call it? The project scenes,
right
in the yard. That's like 3 blocks over from the Baltimore City Zoo, the park, Druid Hill Park, Mondawmin Mall, and all the rest of it, right over there. So it was too close to home, and during that time, the city was doing real bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because what it is, redlining, people could move.
Yeah,
well, that's what it was. People were just they were able to get out, and they were moving out into the county. Now everybody's out in Randallstown.
When I first went to Mondawmin Mall, and a homeless man asked me for change, I nearly freaked out. I was like,
"What? Nothing new."
No, but I've never experienced it. And they don't, as much as people talk about New York, and you can go into the most like not as popular as malls, but you would not catch any like that. That doesn't happen. So it's like, I was like, how you get in here? They let you in here?
They'll let you in.
My friend was like, yeah, there's always, people. And I was like, wow, I was really just taken back. Like, wow. Like that.
But then you have to remember too, it's on the subway line because the subway is right underneath there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why a lot of times they you can hop the subway, you come right on up. You don't have to live there, and they just hop on it and go back down for what, $2 or whatever back then.
I wouldn't play that game. I was like, wow, that was very interesting to me. But yeah, no, I don't know if I could watch The Wire again. That was just that was a one timer. Because then when I would go to Baltimore, I would be like, oh God, this is like, I had to like shake myself out of that like kind of mindset.
No, you could walk down the street and not get a cat popped in your ass.
Right, I know, but
you can walk on North Avenue. I go running on North Avenue. Okay, I can run on North Avenue, even though it's early in the morning because them niggas ain't up.
They just going to bed. That's what it is. They just going to bed.
They just going to bed. So I know when to run with it safe. I ain't stupid.
Right.
I won't tell a white person. No, you can walk there. Nobody will bother you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which is surprised. Which is the way it's portrayed, you would think that it was. Yeah. It's like, oh, they're all the shooting and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
Like no.
And there was some spotlights. It was like, come on, is this really necessary?
We don't even have that anymore. Well, you gotta remember too. What was this around the Freddie Gray time?
This was before Freddie Gray.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit before Freddie Gray when he was doing those spotlights, all shining up, and he was more shining in people's houses and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they were real annoying.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out why we didn't really have any. Oh no, that was the when they were doing the drug bust.
Yeah,
and what they were doing was they were chasing all the drug activity all over town. They would concentrate on one area, and then it would go like over to the east side, that type of thing. But what it was too is if you complain enough, you could get a light because we did it.
Oh, okay.
We did it in the block. It's like, look, it's dark around here.
Right.
We need some lights. Kids are out here playing. Kids be out there. They'll pull a hoop up.
Right.
And they'll play basketball or whatever. Yeah. And it was summertime.
Right.
So it was cool.
Okay. Interesting. The things you learn.
It's Baltimore. Yeah. It's Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Just remember when you went to Mondawmin Mall, that's where it all started with the Freddie Gray riots.
Yeah, it did. I was like, why? I mean, I get it, but why are you destroying a place that they're gonna do nothing but give them incentive to rebuild it, and then kick a lot of you out of the surrounding area because,
well, like I said, that was the mayor's fault.
Now
because that right there was that hub.
Yeah.
You had the bus line, the subway line, and right across the street is Douglas High School. And that was back early days of Twitter, where they would announce everything on Twitter. That they were going to do a walkout.
Yeah.
So they did their walkout, and they were heading on over to the bus lines to get home or whatever. And the mayor told them to cut that shit off. They cut that shit down. Those kids couldn't get out of there. So then they walked over to the construction site, which was right on the across the street in the residential area. And there was an old mansion, which is now Parks and People, which does a lot of work in the high schools and things like that. And that's where they started throwing the rocks and stuff from, because they couldn't get out. They wouldn't, you turn off the bus lines and you turn off the subway.
And what it is at the back of Baltimore.
Yeah, but that was her fault. If they did just went on ahead and let them go home, that wouldn't have never happened.
Yeah. Now, what I do find interesting is the dialect of a lot of Baltimoreans.
Yeah, and that's it depends on the side of town you live on too. It is vastly different. The same words don't mean the same things.
No.
So it's hard when you're trying to hold the conversation. You just have to, you kind of listen a little bit, and it's like, you know what, I'm getting a little bit of what you're saying, but it's crazy.
Sometimes I
need a translator.
Yeah, bouncy ball to be like, beep, 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 beep. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to keep quiet?
Why are you trying to keep quiet?
Hot dog. I don't even know what a hot dog is. I don't know what a hot dog is. I don't know what a pocketbook is.
You don't know what a pocketbook is?
I know what a pocketbook is, not a
pocketbook.
I don't know what a pocketbook is. No,
a pocketbook is when the 5-year-old says it. That's what it is.
Okay. Just crazy, but I don't know. It's interesting.
No, it's Baltimore.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting. It is interesting.
And then the dialect is different if you're black or white. If you're over in Dundalk, that's a totally different language altogether. White people down there is like, what
I've never really. Well, I'm not
Eastern Avenue, Dundalk, Glen Burnie and Dundalk are kind of like, they're like cousins, but they're like the white versions. Their dialect is totally different also.
Okay.
But that's where you get hun from. Everybody's hun, no matter who you are. All the little white ladies call you hun. You all right, hun? And it's different because it's working class. They're working class white people, and then you have the Greeks. You'll see that there's like a big, looks like a mosque, but it's a cathedral type thing, but it has a gold dome. And those are the Greeks by Patterson Park.
Okay.
And like I said, everybody's hun, and they're actually good. They're real good people over there. I can honestly say that those white people over there, that because they'll tell you, don't stay around here too late, hun.
You want to be inside.
You need to be in. I don't want you on these streets because these streets ain't safe for you around here, hun.
Oh. No, I haven't had the pleasure of knowing a Caucasian person in Baltimore. So, no.
They are. They're actually, like I said, once they figure out, and that's why I always used to have.
They're on.
Yeah, that's why I used to always have the problem to figuring out whether it was race or class, because the elite white people would treat them like shit too.
Right.
So I always had that confusion. I could never figure it out.
Well, I guess there's levels. There's levels to everything.
Yeah, levels to their whiteness.
Levels to their whiteness too.
They probably say you haven't used your white privilege to the best of its abilities.
Right. It's been revoked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
Mm.
All
He said, I've met Caucasians from Baltimore. You met Caucasians from Baltimore?
Oh, well, I haven't yet. Mm-hmm. Usually they've been, the one person I did meet, they were there for something, but they weren't from there. So I just did.
Yeah. And then you get a lot of people that live in Baltimore City, but work in D.C.
Right.
Because at one time, D.C. was a slum.
Yeah. When I was younger, and we used to, I think we did a family reunion. Like a lot of the family from Virginia came, and we all met in DC because that was like the halfway mark, even from us from New York. We met in DC. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, you ride into DC. You talking about dilapidated, but they done gentrified the hell out of it.
DC. Yeah, because I remember when I was younger, it was like we stopped at McDonald's one time. I was like, I'm not. My mother had rented the van, the big van with the TV and all that kind of stuff. I was in there, like, I'm not getting out. And like, oh no, just got. I'm not. Yeah, DC has changed a great deal since when I was a kid and used to.
Yes, a pocketbook is a purse.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it is, but
no, as what?
Keep my pocketbook.
It's a pocketbook. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. No. That's it.
No, but the majority of DC was a slum. Was a slum. It's not now. It's all gentrified now.
Yeah. I mean, they had this little pockets, but even still, even in the pockets, they make sure that they sprinkle a little bit of. There's some Beckys and there's some Kens in there, so that way it doesn't look all that bad. And they can put a coffee shop up. So like,
yeah, I was gonna say when you have a coffee shop almost on every corner.
Right.
Pocketbook. Boy, I hadn't heard that word in a long time though. Yeah. Pocketbook, yeah. Go get it. Go get my pocketbook.
What is that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. But I mean, like New Yorkers have our own little thing.
Yeah.
Coffee. Just little different stuff. But I don't know. Oh, and the one that gets me all the time, because even the radio host, 92Q, like when he says two, he cannot say two. His two sounds like a Q. So I just be like, why do you do that? But I notice a lot of people do that when they say two, it's like Q, and I just be a bit, just a little confused.
It was funny when I would enter back in the day when we used to use fax machines, and I would interview for a job, and you would speak over the phone, and I would code switch, and I totally wipe out the accent and the slang and everything, and they were like, "Well, you're in Maryland, right?" Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm from Maryland. Did you grow up there or did you move there? It's like, no, I've always, I grew up here. Why is that? Because you don't have an accent. I said, no, because I whitewashed that shit so I can get a job.
So you can pay me shit.
Mm-hmm, hell yeah. So I can get a job because then, because my government name is Vanilla. Okay. Right. And you can't really tell, and I would actually go to, because I would do merchandising work and things like that. And I would go to regional meetings and they would know that I was Black. Especially not talking over the phone, because even my voice wouldn't even be as heavy as it is now, and it's relatively, it's comfortable. You kind of lighten it and soft. Code switch. Yeah. This would be the only curse word I say tonight. Code switch the F out of it. Okay. I'd be whiter than white. My name was Ken.
Right. I used to like to hear my mom get on the phone, like if she was answering the phone or something.
As they would call it, that telephone voice.
It was so different. It was like, wow, how do you do that? Because when she on the phone with like aunt or cousin or something, you'd be like, whatever. But then it'd be like, you'd be like, oh, it must be nice. But then
but yeah, my government name, Dutch screen, nigga. Yes. Everyone should learn the fine art of code switching. It will get you far.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Or as I like to put it, white people that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there is an advantage to white people.
Or feed them their own shit. That's it. Give them a mini. Feed them their own shit. So yeah, and then you come to find out too when you dig a little deeper that some of them come from the most trailers of trailer parks.
Yeah.
That just happen to get a break somewhere and actually fake it till they make it. So
because that's even when I had interactions with the police.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I throw that voice on there and put that enunciate, you must enunciate. See, the one thing about, especially with Baltimore slang, is that it's kind of lazy. You know, your tongue is lazy.
That tongue is heavy.
And it's lazy. You don't enunciate the words. Like something, nothing. These are ones I hate. Something and nothing. Huh? Yes. Nothing. I tell the kids all the time, don't you say that shit. No. Nothing.
The word is nothing. You're not doing anything. Nothing.
Anything. There are letters at the end of the words. You should hear some of them. Was named. Government name that. Yeah, that's right. Government name.
Yeah.
Too much. Like I said, back then they would just read your your facts. You fax your resume to them, and that was it. They didn't know anything about you.
Right. Yeah, that part is true. Well, at least not until they saw you, unless
because they didn't have any representation. Yeah. That or a lot of times we would refer each other different projects that were coming up.
Oh, okay.
Say like when you go into a store, stores are set to planograms. The basic idea is if you go into one store, you should be able to find the same item next to another item, no matter what the store is, no matter the square footage of the store, whatever. And we would go in and do resets and makeup and all kinds of stuff. And you'd be surprised. You talking to these, and especially when in your neck of the woods. During that time, and we're talking about the 80s.
Sheesh,
I ride on up there with my little Hyundai.
And get your ass back down before
that's right. Get because my ass, when the sun was setting, it was setting on my ass because I was barrel assing down 70.
I can imagine.
Getting the hell out of there.
Hell out of Dodge.
Damn, look, a damn drought going on. You could smell. It's like, wow, I smell shit up here. It's like, and it was from the cow. The cow fields was so dry, and it was just blowing all over. Now it's like, let me get the hell out of here. Another one of those things. You get there early in the morning.
Right.
What time are you leaving? 5 o'clock. I want to be there when the doors are open.
Right.
So I get the hell out of here.
Right.
Jeez.
And be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Too much.
But that's what it be like. Thank God it's not like that too much anymore. But
yeah, they're used to us now. There were certain even parts of town you wouldn't see too many, black people, or you knew that they have never had any interaction with.
Yeah, but then there are some people that have come so accustomed to them that even when they do act up or when they show themselves, they just very docile and be like, "Oh, just let them go ahead." And I'm like, "Oh, hell no, you ain't gonna no, don't do that." Because you let them get away with it once, they're gonna keep doing it and keep trying to.
You always check them.
You gotta check them.
You know what my philosophy is? You think that I'm the boogeyman any goddamn way? Why not?
Right. Boo, bitch.
Yeah.
Boo. Yeah, that's
why not.
My theory. They still have a few sundown towns. Yeah, they're not too far from one of them. That still prides themselves on being that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to test the theory either. At least not right now.
No, because they all hyped up.
Yeah, right.
still hyped up. Their man's not even in office anymore, and they're still hyped up.
Right, they hyped off of the Tang, so I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
They're hyped off of Tang. The orangutan, that is.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Did you read the article on the the expecting father?
Oh yeah, that one. So
well, you know what I wanted you to do, right?
It was
I said, you know what I wanted you to do, right? I wanted you to drop a link and let them watch it first, and then
I don't think I could get the link off the thing. That's what.
Oh, okay, because it's right on. It's actually right on YouTube.
I mean, I can always put it in the wall.
Yeah, they can see the full one on the wall.
Cause it's not.
I'm not trying to make you work, but just go ahead. Just go for it.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, it's not really a.
What?
It's not.
That's why I wanted them to see it. When he finally figures out how to get the link.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you.
Just go ahead and let it.
No, I'm gonna let you see it.
It's long. It's like 6 minutes.
No, I'm not gonna. Well, you're not gonna watch it. I'm gonna put it on the wall.
Oh. Okay.
And then you can go there and watch, and we'll discuss it next time.
Next time. Okay.
I'll hold it for next time. I'll put it on the wall. We'll discuss it next time. But I'm just saying, like, you're not. I'll hold my peace.
Why you gonna hold your peace? You might as well go ahead.
No. Because I'm gonna let them watch it first.
Yeah, but then they know why you're fussing, and then you can do your rebuttal next week.
She's a transgender man.
Yeah. So, and the issue is, that's my whole thing with it. But what's the problem?
What's the problem? That's my thing. Like, what's the problem? Like, at the end of the day, you really know it's not a.
Yes, but they
biological
don't.
man.
But that's something that they should have. Well, first of all, let's explain what happened to him. He's pregnant.
The joke Antonio said.
You know what I'm really hating you right now because I like drew a total blank. I was like, huh? Anyway, this is a trans couple. They're married and they're expecting their first child.
Yes.
And the husband was in a maternity shop. And black men can't go into a maternity shop because, of course, they accused him of shoplifting. Because I'm sure he was like in his late stages of pregnancy, so he had a belly. And he's telling them be careful. They were don't be slamming me on the floor and all the rest of that.
Mm-hmm.
So they lifted his shirt up to discover that, yes, he is pregnant. Now, the thing for me is, if you did not see him take anything, why didn't you just ask him to lift his shirt? Because you know how police are. Anyway, they go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask him to lift his shirt? You could have just patted him down, because if you'd have patted him without him revealing anything, right, you would not have found. You could feel clothing if somebody stuffed stuff in their clothes.
Very true.
So he did not have the surgery.
Yeah. No.
And that's another thing. But we'll jump back to that.
I
don't know why it's so hard for people to understand. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I get it, and it wasn't hard. First of all, everybody does not have to go through the whole spiel with the surgeries to be complete with their idea of being a complete male or being a complete male or complete female. But then you also have to keep in mind that, suppose I want children.
Right.
I can't afford to have a surrogate. Why would I have a surrogate when I still have still have the working parts? Yeah. I can, you know what? I can suck it up for these next couple of fucking years. So, God damn it, made me curse.
Oh, forget about
that was my first one tonight. No,
that's not the first one. That's like the third, fourth.
That was tonight. Yes, it was.
And it was like the second or third.
No, I think no, that was using the F word. See, the F word is cursing. The other word is just regular language.
Oh, I was unaware of that. Oh,
yeah, F word is cursing.
Oh, okay.
Damn and shit and stuff like that is regular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the not everybody can afford to have, especially people of color.
Right.
Don't have those means.
That's my whole conundrum with the whole thing. First of all, there's a family of color. We know everybody's not going around, and we don't have the Wheaties man money to walk around at 60-something years old, 70-something years old, and discover, oh, now I want to be a woman with my old wrinkled ass, and take my already wrinkled balls and cuff them up in there and put boobs in, and then walk around and then expect people to go, oh, look at, you're a beautiful woman, and you look like an old man.
Oh, no. Ain't nothing beautiful about that.
No, you look like an old man in a dress.
And at 60, you ain't cutting nothing.
Nothing.
They's going with me to the grave.
But still talk about some, oh no, I'm so into women. But then wouldn't that make the woman kind of lesbian-ish if you sitting around with breasts and stuff?
Not if you still have a penis.
Well, I mean, but you consider yourself to be a woman.
A woman.
So then I don't understand. But
woman light.
Right. Woman light, not even like woman light, like a Bud Light. It's like woman light.
No, we just fucking with Caitlyn. I don't feel that way about normal people. I just don't like.
This
Caitlyn.
is just about Caitlyn. I don't like her. I think this whole white privilege, and she's taking that shit to the hill, and then just only because of her, we're supposed to support and be fans of. Excuse me. I don't know why. Fucker always does this shit when I'm doing this.
It's a booty call.
It's not, because we don't do. Yeah, with them big feet and them old ass man hands. I really just don't understand why that gets so much. But anyway, yeah. So I put the video is up on the community wall, so check it out. If you check it out real quick and you want to share, you can share your thoughts now. But if you hold it, or you can put it in the comments, and we can go back and forth when I read them, because I do read you guys' comments. I don't always respond, but I do read them. But yeah, I just feel like, right, he's nothing but a cross-dresser. And I think even when he decided to make the choice, although granted, for anybody who chooses to live in their truth, I think bravo to you. But hell, who didn't know that old bitch man wasn't living in his truth? Who was asleep on the fact that you saw Bruce running on the Wheaties box, and then every year after that, you seen Bruce looked like Brenda more and more. It was like Bruce went to Brenda.
I thought he was just getting facelifts.
His face was pulled back.
Yeah, I was like I said,
all of it was snatched back. He started growing his hair. Then he cut his hair after people started kind of saying he was possibly cross-dressing and all kinds of stuff. And then come to find out years later, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You really, that's really what you felt.
But he still used his white man privilege.
But still uses his white man privilege to
and that's the one thing I've always noticed about the white transsexuals is that they have such an easier transition.
They do, and they can choose to kind of turn it on and turn it off, even if it happens to offend or be against the same community that they are trying to not necessarily be a part of, but just trying to be like, well, this is how I feel. This is who I am. This is me. You know, you want people to accept you, but then you still want to keep a piece of that privilege that it doesn't matter if people accept me. I'm going to make them accept me because of, that white person in the pocket that I have, that I can pull out. It's like pulling out a card when you want to, like pulling out. Oh, we only take American Express. Well, I have an American Express Gold card. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh, that kind of thing that I think is ridiculous. Even with his spit for running for governor, it's like, the fuck are you doing?
Totally clueless. Totally clueless.
What are you doing? Literally running
and then working against
of a white man.
I was going to say, and working and running against his own interests.
Yeah, running against the own image that you get up every day to put a bra on, to squeeze the rusty, nasty, hard-ass bowling ball titties into a bra. You fight against that just so, like, you're going to do things in your head. Like you're fighting with the white man that, that's a part of your brain, and then the other part that's a white woman. So at the end of the day,
it's just a hot ass mess.
It's a hot mess.
It's just a hot ass mess.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but check it out. I found it quite interesting. It's just something that it's one of the pitfalls of being a black male.
Now, my question was, and I might have missed that part when I watched it, but is she the wife? Is she transgender as well?
The wife?
Yeah.
The wife is trans also.
Okay, I thought so. So I'm like, who poked who, or did they have somebody poke? I was like, okay, she must have poked him, and then that's how he became pregnant.
Sex is still sex. It's just the act.
Yeah, I mean,
now here's the kicker. They're a heterosexual couple.
Right, they are. Right.
And people couldn't grasp that. Because that was the first thing I kept reading in the comments. Well, does that mean that they're not gay? It's like, no, they're not gay. They're heterosexual.
Gay. They just,
they're heterosexual.
Really would be heterosexual, right? Because they still, like, this happened to where they present themselves maybe slightly different from what they would. But
he is a man. Yes, he is. He's this is actually the second black guy that I've seen.
Yeah.
That's been pregnant. But you do what you have to do. Like I said, we don't have the resources, and they don't have the resources,
right,
to do so. So, and everybody assumes that when you transition, the first thing is that you want a vagina. If you're male, you want a vagina. A lot of times, they may just want to be able to move throughout the world,
right,
as a woman,
right.
But
still keep their peace.
It's still, yeah. Why get rid of a good thing?
Especially when a lot of men out here like to get poked in. What's the point of throwing it away?
That's what's called being on the spectrum. We're all on the spectrum,
right?
Yeah,
some more than others. Some not even on a spectrum at all. They're just over there by themselves. Literally.
Yeah, because every time I turn around, it's a new term, and I try not to get caught up in all these different terms and labels and stuff, and because I think that's what confuses a lot of people.
Yeah. I think instead of just letting people live and let have, in a sense, there's always like a label. You got to label it, and it's just like sometimes just let people be. Still
basically the same. It's nothing different.
Yeah. So, but that was interesting. But yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. Everybody has their original parts.
Yeah.
Everybody definitely has their original parts, so ain't nothing.
Yeah, like I said, if they can move throughout the world,
right,
and be recognized as who they are, then that's cool.
Yeah.
Who's going to be up underneath? Who's going to be in your up? I'm trying not to. I really
be up in arms about that. But then my question is, even with that, is to throw it to be devil's advocate a little bit. So if they can do that, what's the difference between that and a Rachel Dolezal claiming herself to be an African?
I don't think she would have had a problem until they went into her background and they were seeing that she was using things that were geared for Black people. Now, she already had the privilege. We see it all the time, and we don't pay it any attention. When you have white women, and you normally see it with white women that are in the community,
right?
They have their children are Black, their husband's Black, and they automatically you listen to the way that they speak, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they move. You couldn't tell them that they weren't Black, and even their hue is different. Their darker complexion. The hairstyles are different. Yeah. We don't pay it pay it too much attention. But with her, I think the fact that she used resources that were delegated towards Black people.
But also an advocate for Black people.
Though, yeah, but see, I did not have a problem with her. But because she was using her advantage of she's a white person, she could move throughout. She was able to move throughout certain spaces, and that was perfectly fine. And she was working for us,
right?
So I did not understand why she had to lose her job or whatever. Right. It was perfectly, if she was undermining what we were doing, that was a totally different story. Scalp that bitch straight up.
Right, but I mean, some people did feel like what she was doing was undermining.
Well, what I've read, I could not find it, because everything she's done for the betterment of the collective.
Yeah, that part is true. What's the oh my God? What happened?
What's the oh my God?
Oh, are you watching it? But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like in that regard, even as I was watching that, I thought back about her and that moment of like everybody canceling her for having her identity. Oh yeah, she must be watching it. Okay, for having her identity. How she identifies, had that questioned, as her kind of appropriating.
And I mean, she was about as white bread as it came. You see her family?
Yeah.
They were from the Appalachian Mountains.
Right. They were from the Caucasus of the mountain.
What's wrong, Lynn T?
Zip it. See? That's I'm just saying. Just a thought.
I mean, but if you want to assimilate and join the culture, I don't, because at the end of the day, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all human, and this thing of race is basically a construct anyway. Right. It's used to separate us. Right. That's all.
By the people with the money, so therefore no one else could really infiltrate and kind of. No, we need those. We could use those resources. They don't need that. It's kind of to keep things the way they are, where the rich can stay over here and everybody else be over there. They need a middleman, and race is that middleman. Race is that kind of thing that makes sure.
Could I tell you, if they want a goddamn kidney, and
they'll take a poor person's kidney in a heartbeat, or steal it,
or a black person's kidney,
or steal it. They ain't worried about your race then. Nothing about it. Like on Get Out. Clearly on Get Out, that's what they were doing. They were just basically rounding up black folks for their body parts to use them.
When you say Rachel Dolezal, you keeping it zipped up on that? You must have a lot to say. Better get one of them prayer cloths and pray on that one.
Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry. She works for Rebel. Get one of those jizz rags.
Whew. No, I just I don't know. But do you think it could have been like a mental illness type of thing too?
With her?
Yeah.
I don't think so. There are just some people that are just.
Yeah. And hell, who knows? She might have witnessed so much hatred in her own damn family that she just felt like
because you never know. You know, she might have. We may be, and which we are. We are an accepting people.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't know about these YouTube streets, but we are some accepting people. We will accept you, even if you know.
Yeah, Lord, you couldn't tell by these antics that happen out here.
No, these motherfuckers crazy.
Yeah, they are cray. But it's okay. Sometimes entertaining, but definitely cray.
Yeah. So who knows what her family may have been like.
Yeah.
You know, at the dinner table, having those nigger talks.
Especially when she liked Tyrone, and you cannot bring Tyrone
to the house
in here. And she was just determined, like when she grew up, when she became an adult, she would never treat somebody like that. And that could have just been her mission in life for herself, to be different than the family she came from. So.
Yeah, and then when she had a taste, you know, that was it.
You know what they say? Once you go black,
she must have got somebody who was just beating it up.
She called Tyrone. That's what it was.
No, I saw Jesus.
Why not? Madonna seen him. Madonna ain't been right since. Madonna ain't been right since.
She got new ass, new face.
She saw black Jesus, and she was at the ever since. She ain't never. The only thing she kept was her British accent. She's seen black Jesus.
Now she's done. I mean, you know, she's done that. Whew.
That's it.
Yeah. Rachel found out what a pocketbook was.
Yeah, what a pocketbook. That's crazy.
You say trying to wrap your head around this video. I think you would understand it a lot better if you did not put the labels on it.
Yeah.
It's easier to understand it because your mind is saying that it should be this, and this, but it's not. Right. It's just two human beings. Like I said, they're still a heterosexual couple.
Right.
You know, so
they just visually see themselves different.
Yeah. So now, never mind. Anyhow. Okay. What time is it? It's after 11 o'clock.
Yes, it is. All right. And on that note, it's been great. It's been fun. Thank you for participating, you guys, in another episode of Politics and Wellness. Guys, stay safe. Wash your asses. Wear your masks.
Tell them in your life to check themselves out.
Yes. Have the men in your life check their tatas. If you got a big titty man, make sure they definitely check them, swoosh them around, but no.
And that's something that you can help him with.
Check, right, and that's something you can definitely help with to make sure that we are
definitely.
Checking.
You know how it's the same exact procedures on how you detect for lumps and things like that.
Yeah.
So, we cannot ignore the stuff that goes on. Since we get fried up so often,
right?
So we need to do things early, right? So start early.
Definitely, we must start early. But all right, on that note, it's been real. God bless and good night.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Wash your asses. Shake your glasses.
And protect the tatas.
Yes, protect them titties. And until next time, peace, America.